Meet the team that doesn't just talk about impact, they ignite it. Jim Morris and producer Rachel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Rise and Energize. How we doing? How we doing, producer Rachel?
We're doing good. We are doing good. We are alive. We're here. Oh my God. So many things are all happening at the same time. So I'm just trying to when you sometimes feel like you're like the orchestra conductor of over here, this has to happen. Over here, this has to happen. And over here, this has to happen. And we have to do it all together because otherwise nothing's going to get done the right way. It's crazy.
It is crazy. And I think just having some gratitude for you and for that scenario, right? We're all going through it in a lot of ways. And especially if you've got kids and dogs and chickens and friends and vacations and family events and work and coworkers and team members and their emotional energy gains and drains and breaking habits and building habits. So it's a lot.
Well,
life is a lot.
Life is a lot. I've been trying to be grateful for even those bad moments, right? Like we talked about the children's book and all the things and being able to, sometimes go around the roadblocks. And so I just had to learn to be thankful for even those moments, right? If anything, it showed me that I'm number one, resilient. And number two, I could figure it out. Like I'm a big girl. I could figure out the problem. How many people have published books? Millions. If they can do it, I could do it too. So we just have to figure out what the next problem is to solve. And so I've been trying to just be grateful for even those harder moments.
With your book, do you want to just share some of the recent hurdles you've made it over? Because here's the thing, though. She, producer Rachel is doing a lot of this herself and bringing in some help, obviously, right? Contracted, but there's so many steps in what you're building, and I think that is something that because you're in it and you're doing it and you're just moving through it, identifying and realizing all the steps and all the things you've had to learn.
Yeah.
To get to where you're at today. Every time we talk, you're educating me. Seriously. And I'm wow, she's growing. And it's funny. I was telling Caitlin, my wife, I'm every day it's oh, producer Rachel's doing this with the book or this. And I'm bragging to her that I'm learning from you because I don't know any of this stuff, right? You're well, the size of the cover and the illustrations and the Ingram Sparks and the ISBNs, and I've got to buy 10 because I'm going to do this, and it makes sense to do this version. And I'm wow, you from where you started with the project to all the conversations the last couple of months, I'm wow, you really are going through it, growing and learning, and it's amazing. It's amazing because it's from an idea to hearing the depth of what you're navigating. It's impressive, very impressive.
Well, I think people have to understand. When I want to write a book is a concept and then you're actually doing the thing. And I think a lot of us think I'll just throw it on Amazon as a self-publisher. I want people to really understand what that means. That means Amazon owns your ISBN. Your ISBN is what categorizes your book. So every book that you create and every version of that book has to have its own ISBN number. And that is how it's cataloged throughout the system of the world of books. And I think a lot of times, and I myself did, I just thought, oh, I'll just throw it on Amazon. Well, there's parameters and there's specifications and the graphics and the text has to be a certain way and the size has to work and the paper, literally right down to the paper that you're using. And then you also have to understand they own 60% of it. If they're giving you the ISBN number, they own that ISBN. And so I had to realize that the quality that I was getting, it's not their fault. It's just how they're set up. They're better for just fiction books with a cover in black and white text. They're not great for a beautiful children's book. So I know that now. Okay, great. At least not for anything under 75 pages. And so I had to become my own publisher, right? I am my own publishing house now, which means I'm putting money into my own product. which is also scary, right? When you're literally financially betting on yourself. Could I sell out and like the craziest thing happen where I have to get a warehouse and we have to hire people to start shipping stuff? Yes. Could the opposite also happen where I'm sitting here and, in a couple of weeks with piles of books and coins? Also, yes. So I'm taking a risk. And I knew we could get to this point. I just didn't do my due diligence enough to really understand that like the only option was this point. I think that I took too long hoping that like Amazon and self-publishing through them would work out. It's just, it didn't, and that's okay.
With the self-publishing, with the Amazon, realizing that you didn't want them to own it, you didn't want to fit into the standard, it's going to remove the creativity, the uniqueness, the vision, the heart, the soul behind the book, the reason why you built it, the reason why you've navigated to this point in it. Talk to me about the energy drain and then the energy gain, because I know we had a conversation. You were frustrated, you were sad, right? Like I could see anger, but like I could also be like, you were just like, oh fuck, right? And then we talked again and it was like, you were like, I'm doing it, I'm the publisher. Talk me through that kind of, what did you have to say to yourself to regain that energy? Or what motivated you back? How did you get back on the horse? Because I think it was like a day or two, we talked again and it was like, Rachel's back. She's crushing it. She's got a plan. Like, you know what I mean? And it was impressive because it was so quick. Like you rebounded so quick from something that could have stopped and would have potentially stopped most people in that scenario.
Well, I have a deadline, so that kind of makes it important.
Accountability.
I know. Yeah. So accountability, number one, right? I have a date that I have to physically be somewhere to release the book.
Did you do that on purpose?
No, it just happened to work out that way perfectly. I wanted to release Christmas in July, but like Christmas in July is just a concept, right? And then there happened to be Detroit Book Fest. So like that date, I was like, okay, we can do it. This date's perfect. And I applied to be a vendor just to see. I literally applied to be a book vendor without a book. So didn't have one yet. But they accepted it. And I was like, oh, well, there we go. Like that's the universe telling me we have to take the next step.
I applied to be a book vendor at an event that I paid for, and I didn't have a book.
Yup.
Talk about impressive. Let's go. Come on. Some serious accountability right there.
And so back to like the orchestra visual, I have a storefront that has to be created right now on my website because I have to sell it. I'm the seller. I have elements of that. I bought a URL because God forbid we don't buy a URL that's related to the book. All that has to start to work. I had to put that URL and that page also in the book. So I also had to do that without even knowing if this page works. I still don't even know. Like we're getting there. We'll figure it out. And so I had to continuously take these little leaps of faith. I had to know, okay, this isn't right, i.e. the like version of the book I had to upload in order to order versions of the book. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so I had to outsource that. I didn't have the programming that would make the book from Canva, because FYI, if you guys are doing this, Canva can't create the manuscript version that you need to put on Ingram Spark. And Ingram Spark is the company that then pushes your book out to libraries and bookstores. Okay. So it's very important that if you're not going the Amazon route, that you have to make sure Ingram Spark accepts your manuscript, your cover, your paperback version, and your EPUB version, which I didn't have an EPUB version. I was just like, I just need the book done. So finally had to just outsource it. And I went with somebody who was in my budget and less expensive. And they were overseas, and the time difference sucked because like when he would ask me a question, I would be asleep and vice versa. I needed it in 24 hours. I didn't have time. So that was a poor choice on my part. And then the language barrier sucked. And so I kept getting it back with mistakes. And I really realized like I'm going to have to pay somebody 4 times more to do this for me. And I did. I literally went online. I had already started talking to somebody else that is a graphic artist that has been doing this and can do it. And it cost me literally almost 4 times more to get it done, but he got it done in 24 hours. Like he met my threshold. He met all the demands that I had. And I cannot tell you, I videotaped this too because I was so excited. The best feeling when you're loading it and you're seeing the little circle go and you're waiting to see, is it going to be red error like it did for me like 3 times, or is it going to be that green good to go? And when it was that green good to go, I literally was like, that moment when you've held on to something for so long and then you're really like, I can fucking breathe now. Oh my God. And so I'm literally still waiting for the physical copies because it takes time. It takes some time to then like accept the copy and then tell you, okay, now you can order copies. So I'm waiting to see the final book, but at least that's done. Like, right. So every step of the way became micro decisions and micro steps that all intertwined with each other. But I had to just continually take that leap of faith that it could get done. And again, we have to also think about the worst. What's the worst that could happen? The worst that could happen is I don't get it done in time for that book fair. And then I go with a sign and a QR code and I pre-sell it. And I don't have the physical item there. So I think that what helped me really was sitting down and not just manifesting what I wanted to happen, because I feel like that exists. We already know what I want to happen. I really had to also think through worst case scenario. What happens if I can't get the book in time? None of the orders come. And that made me feel better, right? To actually work through the worst case possible scenario, which is simply just, I show up and I have a QR code and I pre-sell the book and hope that's okay. But at least it's marketing towards the end. Instead of giving up when I could have given up 20 different times. There were so many different issues that kept coming up over and over again. Is it scary to go into your savings? Yes. Is it scary to call your spouse and say like, oh, by the way, we are now a publisher and like, I need this much money from savings because we now sell books and coins. Yes, that was scary. Am I lucky that I have a spouse that was like, I believe in you? Okay. Yes, very lucky, because that could have been a completely different conversation. So I think that when you break it down and you see the roadblock, but you really understand, okay, really just the way around it is, pay somebody to help. Say, I need help. Say, I can't do this. I think a lot of times we keep it close to our chest because we don't want people to know we feel like we're failing, right? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I should have read the instructions. The pages, by the way, Jim, because like you have ADHD too. When it's like, here's everything you have to, like hundreds of pages. I was like, I'm never going to know how to do this. Like, I'm never going to figure this out. And so I had to be okay with outsourcing that. Did I go with the least expensive person? Yes. Was that a mistake? Also, yes. So I now know, okay, for the next one, I have to just contact this guy again and see if I can budget it out. So
is this book one of your like lifelong dreams?
Publishing a book just in and of itself has been a lifelong dream. This particular book was, it's based on a true story with my kids and Santa Claus. They were at that weird age where they weren't sure if they believed anymore. They wanted to catch Santa. Like they were adamant about catching Santa. And so I hired a photographer friend who literally helped me, create a day where we acted out the scenes of the book with my kids and my husband and Santa. And within that day, as we're going through the day, and I'm looking at the pictures and we're going through the storylines and I'm trying to really figure out where are we going with this. It's really about like believing in the spirit of Christmas and giving. That's what it's all about. The Santa that I had come help me with all of this is sitting with my kids having a real moment with this wishing coin. And so I'm like literally like snapping at the photographer, like, oh my God, start getting these pictures. And I'm getting video of them having a real moment about belief and believing and wishing. And when everybody wishes together, not all wishes come true, but sometimes if your parents agree and everybody agrees, you never know what's going to be under the tree the next day. And it was just this beautiful moment that perfectly bookended the storyline in the book that I already had. And
Let's
so for
go.
me, it was honestly just capturing a real moment. Like as a producer, like we are storytellers. And so I'm used to seeing stories that other people don't see or seeing through lines that other people don't see. And then with this one, same thing happened in my life. Like when you are paying attention and you are in a moment, you will see some magic happen. And I saw magic literally happen in front of my eyes. And so I just captured it, but in children's book story form.
Let's go. Let's go.
Right. And so I've got a ton of other books. One is already done. Like there's a couple already done, but I've been doing them throughout my life. And I would just give them as gifts to my family. I would just pay, you know, those people that are like, oh, well, print your book for you. And it's like, you know, $100. It's ridiculous. But they look beautiful. And so I would do that as gifts. And then my husband's like, why don't you just publish these? And so in theory, it feels easy. Like, why don't I just do this? And then you start doing it and you're like, because it's hard, because it's not easy when you're doing it yourself and you don't have people that know what they're doing. And so I get like, this is why people pay people thousands of dollars to help them publish their books. But like, you don't have to do that. Truly, number one, ChatGPT will help you through most of it. And then number two, just outsource. Like I said, like I'm not a graphic designer that has the right program. So I just had to outsource. So, okay, then that's what we do. And if you guys are in that situation where you're like, well, I can't afford to do that right now, then that's fine. Save up until you can. Like start figuring out what your budget is to publish and release a book.
How bad do you want it? And what are you willing to do?
How bad do you want it?
And I think you have, it's not, I'm doing a book to make money. I'm doing a book to get this thing. Is your purpose behind it is sharing a magical moment with the world that you created with your family in hopes that they create magical moments with their family.
Oh my God, you got it.
I get it. Yeah.
So good.
When you were saying it, I'm like, I could feel it. I was like choking up a little bit. I'm not going to lie, because I could feel your authentic energy, right? We talk a lot about that with branding and marketing. We talk a lot about that inside Impact Effect Accelerator, and you can feel the authentic energy. You can feel the heart tied to the book. And I think that's why you are getting these energy gains from it, even though you're moving through this frightful experience where things go sideways and wrong. And you're like, dang, I should have picked up on that. But it's like, how the hell would you? You've never done this before. So just kudos to you, producer Rachel. And I'm so grateful and thankful to have you in my life and call you a friend and do business with you. And it's those little things, that human connection, and to hear your heart, see your heart. And it motivates me. It motivates me to continue doing some things that are in my brain, that are hard and are scary, and just another reason to just follow your dreams. So thank you for sharing that this morning as well. I know our goal wasn't to dive into the book and some of the hurdles that you jumped over, but I think it makes so much sense, and it relates so much back to energy and how to continue to rise, continue to energize. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you. Just really quickly, it's that messy middle, right? We understand the concept of like, I want to write a book, and you start writing the book. It's that messy middle of action that I think gets a lot of us to stop, and we start to feel overwhelmed, and we don't get to the end part. And so I want people to like take the messy action. I took the messy action. I didn't know what I was doing, but I learned as I went. And like, do I wish I did things differently? Sure. But now I know what to do differently for the next one. And, you know, people can walk you through that as much as you will possibly allow, or you can financially allow. We can also do it on our own. Like we can figure out where the roadblocks are. And like, sometimes it really is just simply walking around them. Don't let it stop the action, right? Continue with the messy action, and that's okay too. So that's what I want to leave everybody with today.
Let's go. Have a good day, y'all.
Have a good day. Bye.